Hello, fellow truth seekers. This is Barbara Jean. Um, I have a difficult video to make. It's quite difficult because there's a lot of things I'm going through, muddling through. Um, I had a disturbing dream this morning, very disturbing. Um, and I don't know, it's going to be hard to say because it was disturbing to me personally. I felt disturbed by it. Uh, and there's just a lot of things going on, a lot of things that are happening in the physical realm, also in the spirit realm, because whatever's happening in the spirit realm manifests in the physical. I don't know where to start. I just got a lot to say. So just bear with me. I'm gonna go somewhere with this. So just stay with me. I've had a couple of dreams. But before I do that, I'm gonna show you something that I just picked up. Started taking. It's called Galaxier. Galaxier. Gallexier. This one here is, they had different remedies, different tonics for different things. This is herbal bitter liquid. Uh, it's gentian. Never heard of it. Gentian and blessed thistle, not just thistle, but blessed thistle, are traditionally used in herbal medicine as digestive tonics to help stimulate appetite and aid digestion. So this has a whole huge list of different herbs that they've used in this tonic. Just see if I can read it because it's so tiny. Let me see if I can read it. Um, Artichoke leaf, dandelion leaf, gentian, whatever that is, turmeric, yarrow, ginger, chamomile, bitter fennel, bitter orange peel, blessed thistle, cardamom seed, and buck bean leaf. Very bitter. I've already taken a couple of doses of it. Whoa! Bitter, bitter. It kind of goes along with what I'm gonna talk about because sometimes life is bitter. I mean, look around. Look what we're seeing on TV. Look what's going on. There's a, I was thinking about how, just stay with me. I know I'm going to stumble here a lot, but because I'm just trying to put this whole together. I'm still trying to piece this together. But I was thinking about how John was given this scroll to eat. Let me see if I can find it. That's Revelation chapter 10. Um, Revelation chapter 10, he's talking about this angel that had this rainbow uh, crown on his head. And he gives him this scroll to eat. And Revelation 10:10 or 10:9, let's try there. And I went up unto the angel, and he said unto me, and I said unto him, Give me the little book. And he said unto me, Take it, eat it, and it shall make thy bitter belly, and it shall be in thy mouth sweet as honey. And I took the little book out of the angel's hand and ate it up, and it was in my mouth sweet as honey, and as soon as I had eaten it, my belly was bitter. And he says unto me, Thou must prophesy again before many people and nations, tongues, and kings. Okay, so I was thinking about how strange that is because this tonic is extremely bitter. So in my mouth, it's extremely bitter. But what does it do? It aids your digestion. It makes your stomach sweet. It aids the process of some very bitter things. It helps you in your digestion. It helps you to process your food or process something that's hard to eat or hard to swallow, if you will. So here we got this opposite thing going on here. So I'm taking this started taking this tonic last night, just last night. So in my mouth it's bitter and makes my stomach sweet. John takes this book, the scroll, and in his mouth it's sweet, but it makes his stomach sour. Okay, so it upsets his stomach. He doesn't know what to do because it tastes okay. He thinks it's good, and yet when it gets to the heart of the matter, when it gets to digesting the information, it's upsetting. Isn't that a strange phenomenon? It's not a strange kind of twist. It's a strange twist. Upside down world, if you will. Um, Sometimes God asks us to swallow some bitter things, but once we process it, it helps with our processing of some very ugly truths. Okay. Um, and the reason I'm bringing this up is because I had a dream last night. It was very difficult to swallow. It was a hard dream. Sometimes the Lord gives me dreams that I don't understand, and I'm thinking, is this from the Lord? Did He really give me this dream? This dream is too weird, or it's too awful, it's too difficult. Why would the how can I know that this is from God? And I know it is because this anointing is on my head. I'm thinking, how can this dream be from God? It's so horrible, or it's too hard to take. I don't understand. And that's what this dream was. It was that kind of a dream. I woke up thinking, what? I got the blood of Jesus on it immediately, and then I began to process it. Once I got the blood of Jesus on it, I began to process it. But before I get into this dream, because I am going to get into it, I'm going to go back to another dream I had, which I didn't tell you about. I had it this week, just one day before Ghislaine Maxwell. Ghislaine, what's her last name? Ghislaine something or other. Is it Maxwell? I can't remember. Ghislaine something. Uh, got arrested. Okay, I had this dream one day before the arrest of Ghislaine. Mhm. It's a roasted grain drink. I got just the tiniest touch of coffee in there because this roasted drink is it's nice. It's very smooth. It's very soft, but it just doesn't have that coffee. Mm. So I just put the tiniest touch of coffee in there to give it a coffee essence. Oh, that's what I'm drinking right now. It's still hot. It's nice. So I had this dream a few days ago, one day before Ghislaine was arrested. And I didn't put it up because when I had the dream, it's one of those dreams I just didn't understand. I don't know what was going on. And I want to bring you back to the dream we've had before, which I did post, which was about the Lord of the Rings jumping into this deep lake from a very high precipice and jumping into this lake. And the gift for doing it was this extra 2 volumes to the Lord of the Rings, which I'm going to get into also in this video. So just stay with me. Like I said, there's a lot to cover. But I'm going to start with this first dream I had a few days ago, just after that dream. Um, I, I'm a woman in this dream. I'm married, and I have 2 children, 2 girls. And it looked like we were just coming back from some trip. Okay, I don't know for sure, but we were coming into the house. We were coming into our house, and we're going upstairs. We were getting ready. We were getting things put away. So we were going upstairs, and my husband had gone upstairs, and I was getting ready to go upstairs, and my 2 girls were downstairs, still getting ready, and they were putting there underneath the stairs. There was a storage area, and the girls had put this. Um, One of the girls was holding a cat. The cat had been on the trip with us, I guess. And there was a box that had blankets in it, and they were so the one of the girls was putting. They were young girls, they were under teens. They were not teenagers yet. They were putting this. Isn't that interesting? I just thought about that. Underage girls, okay, young girls. It never occurred to me just this moment till I said that. They had a box that had blankets in them, like things that you would take on a trip or a camping trip or picnic or something. And they were putting in this box of blankets near the steps, near this cupboard that was underneath the stairs. And out from underneath what looked like underneath the stairs, this claw hand came out. Long clawed hand came out and grabbed, looked like it was going to grab a lot more than it could, but all it could grab was the blankets and pulled the blankets from underneath the stair. The two girls screamed and alerted me. So I went back downstairs to see what was going on. The girls explained to me that they saw something underneath the stairs. It looked like a beast or something, and had claws and had pulled the blanket from, and I believed them. I believed that there was something indeed hiding underneath the stairs, and I didn't know what it was. So the first thing I said was, I screamed for my husband to come back downstairs and tell him that there was something hiding under the stairs. And I told the two girls to go upstairs immediately and take the cat. That was one of the concerns, because I was like thinking, if it's going to go after anything first, it'll go after the cat. So take the cat upstairs to, and get out of the way. And my husband came downstairs. Interestingly enough, he looked like my dad, the same, which I think is kind of interesting too. He looked like my father. So he we opened the opening to the stairs, and I had a flashlight. I had grabbed a flashlight. I don't know where it came from, but I had it. And I was flashing into the darkness underneath the stairs. And at first, what I saw would look like a small dragon. Had the form of a small dragon, and that's what I could see. And but then it seemed to shapeshift, and it seemed to change its form and also become invisible, if you will. It kind of lost its my ability, even though I had a flashlight on it, I couldn't see it clearly. And my husband had gone into his we were both peering inside trying to see it. We could see it. We could only kind of see a faint shadow of it. And anyway, after it, we were still peering. We had this light focused on it. It jumped out. We could see that it had jumped. We could see, even though it was very faint, we could see we could feel the presence of it, evil, jumping out. And it had run into a room. It didn't have any windows. It only had one door. It was like a even bigger closet, basically, next to this understairs closet. And I said, we gotta you gotta go in after it. So that's what I said to him. I have to go in after it. And I was running around trying to find lights to this closet, to this small room. And I was desperate to get the light. I gotta get the lights on. I gotta find the light. Where is the light? I kept screaming, where is the light? And so eventually I was able to get one light on to the back part of this room, or this other closet, this deeper closet. And my husband had gone in, and I couldn't see him exactly until he'd come out with this beast. He'd actually grabbed the beast. And by this time, it had morphed into a smaller animal, into what looked like a very vicious, demonic cat. Okay? It had very long claws, and it was ugly. But he had this beast by its tail and its neck. Its claws were like this. He had this beast by the neck, who was holding onto it. And I knew it was strong, and I knew it was powerful. And I said, "What are we gonna do?" And he said, "Grab the cat container, a travel container that you put your small animals in. Um, the plastic kind with the vented holes in it, that you would put your cat or a small dog in when you're traveling." And I said, "Grab it." So I had the cat's travel case. And he took this thing and he shoved it head first into this container. And we shut the little metal latch on it. But I'm thinking to myself, this isn't strong enough to hold this thing. This thing was vicious, and its claws were coming out through the vented holes in the container. Long, ugly claws. And it was vicious and it was strong. And I'm thinking, we've got to find a way to contain this thing. And that was my main concern when the dream was coming to an end. I was thinking, I've got to find a way to make sure that this thing stays contained. What are we going to do with this thing, and how are we going to contain it? And so that's when the dream ended. And that was one day before Ghislaine was arrested. Now, I was going to put that dream up before this all. I didn't know what was going to happen. I didn't think it was, at the time. I knew it was important, but I didn't know what it meant. And because I didn't know what it meant, I didn't put it up. Now, maybe I should have put it up, but there it is. It's after the fact. Now, I've been pondering this whole Ghislaine thing and thinking about how incredibly important this is that she was captured. Um, I'm thinking to myself, first of all, she's not American. I'm sure she's not American. She's British. She's a British citizen, and therefore she's not entitled to the uh, judicial rights that American citizens would have in America. And I'm thinking to myself, why didn't she go back to Europe? If Paris or France doesn't have an uh, extradition um, agreement with America, why didn't she go to France or something? That would have made more sense to me. But she didn't do that. She stayed in America. Now, why did she do that? That's a question you have to ask yourself. And why wasn't she afraid? Or was she afraid to go back to Europe? Did she think that if she went to Europe that she would be a target by the mob, for this international mafia? Would they kill her? Or does she have some protection, some kind of um, kill switch, if you will? If anything happens to her, then this is going to get released, just like kind of as Julian Assange has. If there's something that happens to me, then all this information gets released. And she must have. As far as I'm concerned, she's an international spy. She has got power and control over very rich and powerful men, corporately, politically, even spiritual leaders who are under her control and thumb. But she's not working alone. She's part of some kind of cabal, some international mafia. There absolutely has to be. So she's a spy, and she's not entitled to American judicial um, rights. So this is all very interesting, and she is a beast, and she's definitely part of this, whatever's going on. But it's interesting to me that she's had this protection. She's been protected by very powerful people. Why is it? It's because she's got this kill switch that in place, and people know it, and that's why they've protected her. I don't know. Very interesting. Hmm. Well, we'll see where that leads. Uh, yeah, she's in big doo doo, and the people who've protected her and been participating with her are in big doo doo too. Um, so that's the dream I had just one day before she was arrested, and it is part of this dream that I had, and I'm going back to this dream about the Lord of the Rings, this jumping into this deep water that I didn't want to do because it was scary, and how, and how the gift was I was going to get these 2 volumes of the Lord of the Rings. Now, I was thinking about that. That came back to me, thinking these 2 volumes, number 9, it's 9, it makes 9 volumes altogether. So you've got this 7, and I was thinking how Lord of the Rings is very prophetic, a very interesting uh, story. God uses some very interesting people and different situations to bring about to unveil certain things in our lives, or unveil certain things that are hidden in the dark. And the Lord of the Rings is one of those things. In the book, in the Lord of the Rings, 7 rings were given to the dwarves, earth dwellers, basically. They lived under the earth, little people, fully grown, kind of crude earth dwellers. Um, but 9 rings were given to man, and they lusted after power. Now, in the book of Revelation, there are 7 letters. 7 leads is the number for perfection. It's the number of it's the number for the church. It's Christ's bride, Christ's church, his body. Now he's setting his body free. But he's not just setting his body free. He's also taking control of the nations. Now, 9 is the number of finality. It's the number of good, strong leadership. It's the number for finality and heaven, which is what I said in my last video. In the Lord of the Rings, 9 rings are given to man, and these 9 men uh, become lustful for power. Now, I'm going to read something about these 9 men who become ring wraiths. They become controlled by the power of the devil. And I want to see if I can bring that up here for a second. Just hold on. In this, the Lord of the Rings, these 9 characters, um, they're called the Black Riders, also called Ring Wraiths. Dark Riders, the 9 Riders, or simply the 9, are fictional characters in J.R. Tolkien's Middle-earth legendarium. They were 9 men who had succumbed to Sauron's power through wearing rings of power, which gave them immortality but reduced them to invisible wraiths. Isn't that interesting? Because you think about this international mafia, this international cabal. They're invisible. We don't know who exactly is all behind all this crap that's been going on. And this is making them losing power is making them more visible, and they've always worked under the shadows. They always worked in the dark. So just keep this in mind. But reduce them to invisible race, servants bound to the power of the One Ring and completely under Sauron's control. The Ring Wraiths, or Nazgul, were once the kings of men, the bearers of the magical rings created by Sauron. Their rings granted endless life, but gradually enslaved the kings to Sauron's will, together with their leader, the Witch King of Angmar, uh, which is also interesting. There's a Witch King that's killed by a woman. It can only be killed. See, the prophecy in the Lord of the Rings is that the Witch King of Angmar, the leader of these 9, can't be killed by a man. And it's interesting, strangely enough, it's a woman who kills him. So that's very interesting. So it's the bride of Christ who kills the ring wraith in our reality. It's the bride of Christ that brings down the leader of this 9 group corrupted cabal. They are known as the 9 and are the most deadly of Sauron's servants. The 9 he gave to mortal men, proud and great, to so ensnare them long ago, and fell under the dominion of the One, and they became ring wraiths, shadow under his great shadow, his most terrible servant. Long ago, and it is many a year since the 9 walked abroad, yet who knows? Let me just see if I can find some more information here. They were once great men. Then Sauron the deceiver gave them the 9 rings of power. Blinded by their greed, they took them without question, one by one falling into darkness. Now they are slaves to his will. So isn't this interesting? So anyway, let me get rid of that. So it's interesting. Like I said, this dream I had before was about the gift was the Lord of the Rings, the 2 volumes I didn't know about, and that added to nine volumes. The Lord of the Rings, 9. It would bring an end to this thing. To bring an end to this, at least this part of the whole situation. This part was to know and to jump into this deep mystery, this frightening, scary bit to uncover. And then all of a sudden, we have this rest of Ghislaine, who has all the information about these 9, if you will, the 9. If there's 9 or there's more, and I don't know. The Bible says that there are 10, 10 kings. Interestingly enough, that there are 10. Let me see if I can find that. Hold on just a second. Let me see if I can find it quickly. Okay, Revelation, the book of Revelation. There is a great wonder in heaven. The woman is being pursued. The woman is being pursued by this devil who has 7 heads and 10 horns. Horns represents power. And 7 crowns upon his head. Okay, those are the stolen crowns from man. That's 7. And then you got 10 horns, which represent seats of authority. And these 10 horns, um, Revelation 13:1, again, you see this beast rising. He's got 10 heads and 10 crowns, 10 horns, and upon the horns 10 crowns, and upon his head the name of blasphemy. That's the Antichrist rising. Then Revelation 17, you again see this woman sitting upon a scarlet colored beast full of blasphemy, having 10 heads, 7 heads, and 10 horns. And then again, Revelation 17:7, again, the woman which has the 7 heads and 10 horns. In Revelation 17, um, the 10 horns which thou sawest are 10 kings, which have received no kingdom as yet, but receive power as kings 1 hour with the beast. And the 10 horns which thou sawest upon the beast, these shall hate the whore, and shall make her desolate and naked, and shall eat her flesh and burn her with fire. Okay, so the devil, this is his power structure. God is showing us the devil's power structure through this whole thing. He's a great dragon with 7 heads, and he's got 10 horns. These 10 horns are kings that rule with the devil. Isn't that interesting? So what the Lord was showing me, I guess, in this dream is that we are going to get control of this beast. We have to go into some deep water. And the bringing down of this beast was perhaps the whore in this whole situation. This woman who represents this beast, or the whore of Babylon, if you will. And Ghislaine is part of that whole situation. Now, I don't think she's the top whore, if you will, but she certainly is a big player. Okay? I may have to make this into 2 videos because there's a lot more I have to say here. I don't want to have to, I may just split it up and just keep going instead of downloading it because I've got just got so much information going on in here, and I know there's a lot to go on and a lot to talk about, especially since I haven't even touched the second dream, which is I think what I'm going to do. I'm going to probably stop this video once I've gone through this bit, and then go on to the second video explaining my second dream, which I think has a lot to do with what's going on here. So I'm starting to we're putting together these pieces. The Lord is showing me something. He's showing us something that He's going to give us. He's opening some doors here for us. We've had to take a chance. I was thinking again about 144,000 and what we're going through right now. We are going through an incredible shaking, if you will. The Bible talks about shaking. The earth is going to shake. Everything's going to be shaken that can be shaken. We're seeing the riots and the murders and the mayhem, everything that's going on right now. It's the spirit realm clashing like crazy. The good and the evil clashing like we're in a war, bitter, bitter, bitter war. We are seeing in the reality that we're seeing with our own eyes. We're having 20/20 vision right now. We're seeing the depth and the extent and level of what these people will do to keep their power. These 10 kings, to keep themselves hidden in the dark, to keep from being exposed. The things that they will do and how the methods they use to keep people, humanity, under their power, under their control. But they're being exposed whether they like it or not. The shame of their nakedness is being exposed. And that gift of the 9 volumes of the Lord of the Rings is bringing us to this part in the soul story. I was thinking about get back. I was thinking about the 144,000 and what we're going through. The whole church, those people, most people are good people, good-ish people. Most people just want to have an average life, grow up, learn, have an education, meet someone, get married, have children, have a home, have work, contribute to life, be participants in this world, and then go on to meet their maker. You know what I'm saying? Most people just want to have an average life. Most people are good people with good intentions. We But then there's this group of people, this small percentage of people who've lost their humanity, like the Ring Wraiths, who've lost their humanity. And all I think about is evil continually, and they want to infect the whole world with their evil. And what we're going through, the 144,000 we're all being tested. We're being tested up, the yin yang people. We're being shaken to see whether our resolve will last through this shaking. And I was thinking about Donald Trump. I was thinking, what a remarkable man. Thank God. The American people should be so thankful for this man. His resolve, his ability to hold up under the pressure of the lies and the deceptions and the murder plots and the coming after him and the ruining of his reputations and everything that they're doing to try to destroy him, not just to destroy him, but to destroy us through him. That's really the whole thing. They want to destroy those good people, the majority of the world who are good people who want to live average lives. And this man is standing between us and them. That's amazing. This man, you should be very thankful for this man. He's going to be right up there with George Washington. He needs his face carved into Mount Rushmore. I'm sorry, but that's the truth. He needs his face up there. And it's going back to that prophecy where I had about Donald Trump being the greatest of the American presidents. He will and is the greatest. At this point, he is the greatest of the American presidents to be able to withstand what he's withstood through all of this in the last 3 years. It's amazing. Oh, it boggles my mind. I can't, no, he's just, God has given it to you. You guys should be very thankful. Every good person in this world should be very thankful that there's a Donald Trump in this world who's able to withstand through the prayers of the saints, the pressure that's been on him and still live through it. God bless him. And the 144,000, we are, whoever they are, and if they're among us or don't know who they are at this moment, or if they do know who they are at this moment, God bless them because God is shaking them to see whether they will hold through and hold to their resolve to follow him no matter what. And this is what happens in Revelation chapter 14, 13, it's Revelation 14. They follow him. They have no guile in them. God is putting pressure on them even now. He's putting them. These are they which are not defiled with women. What is he talking about? He's talking about how they are not been corrupted by this cabal, this international mafia, whose Ghislaine is part of. She's part of this whole situation, and they haven't been corrupted. This is what they're saying. These are they which were not defiled with women, for they were virgins. These are they which follow the Lamb wherever he goes. These were redeemed from among men, being the firstfruits among God and the Lamb, unto God and the Lamb. And in their mouths was found no guile, for they are without fault before the throne of God. They follow the Lamb wherever he goes. They follow the Lamb wherever he goes. They are being they are being tested. So is Donald Trump. We're all being tested, whether we're going to cave under the pressure, whether we're going to give in, or we're going to stick with the lamb. And this goes along with what I just had, this dream I had, which was very, very disturbing. Okay? So I think I'm going to stop it here and continue with another video because the second dream I had has to do with this. And it's about our resolve. It's about being without spot or wrinkle. It's about being naked and unashamed, if you will. Um, yeah, huge. We are in some major times. The Lord is giving me some pretty disturbing and interesting dreams. So, the Lord of the Rings, it is. He's bringing us knowledge about these 10 kings who've got these who've given their loyalty to Sauron, the devil, in order to entrap and enslave men who they've been promised kingdoms if they will serve Sauron. And the 144,000 are also promised power, and the bride of Christ is given power, and it's the woman who brings down the rich king of Angmar. Okay, that's in the Lord of the Rings. It's I'm no man. That's what she says before she stabs this witch king in the face. I'm no man. Very interesting. Whoa. Okay, I'm gonna continue. Just come with me in my next video, and I will continue.